All right, let's dive into a story that unfolds over a single life-altering day for our protagonist, Ray. It starts with a little secret, and it ends with a truth that's going to completely upend her entire world.
And we start right here. The story just drops this on you. First line. It's an absolute gut punch. I mean, think about that. How do you learn you're a demon? Is it like finding out you're adopted? This one sentence just hangs in the air and sets the stakes for, well, everything.
So, to understand what's happening to Ray, you've got to understand the world she lives in. It's a place called the Temple, and it's basically a fortress. The number one rule, the whole point of its existence, is safety. It's a world built on a very simple idea. Inside is safe, outside is not.
And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? Inside the wall, you've got safety, order, and the governing body known as the sect. Outside, well, that's where the danger is. It's the territory of demons. But here's the kicker. It's also the only place you'll find anything that feels like real freedom. And that's the conflict at the very heart of Ray's life.
Okay, so let's meet Ray. She's a disciple, which means she's training under the clerics. These are the guys everyone looks to for protection. Her home is this old army base, all concrete and strict schedules. But the thing you need to know about Ray is that she is fast. Like ridiculously, almost unnaturally fast. It's not just something she's good at, it's who she is. And that incredible speed of hers, it leads her to break the biggest rule of all. Every single morning, before anyone is awake, she does the one thing she is absolutely 100% forbidden from doing. Now, this is where it gets weird. This is our first big clue that something about Ray is different. The electric wall, this massive barrier meant to keep everyone safe and the demons out, it just kind of opens for her. The wires part without a sound, no alarms go off, nothing. She just chalks it up to a weird glitch, a bit of luck, but you and I know it's got to be something more.
For Ray, this isn't just about a morning jog. Running in that forest is the only time she feels like she can breathe, the only time she feels free. She even calls it an illusion, but it's an illusion she is willing to risk everything for, day after day.
But on this day, her little escape goes so wrong. She sees something, a flicker of movement in the trees. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she gives chase. Next thing you know, she's tumbling down a hidden slope, far off her usual path. And when she finally stops, the illusion is gone. She is totally, utterly lost.
So here she is, lost and scared, deep in the forest. And this is where she stumbles onto something that's going to tear her whole world apart. She's about to learn that sometimes the most dangerous monsters are the ones you've been taught to trust.
She hears voices and pushes her way through the bushes, and what she sees just stops her cold. There's a small clearing, and in it are two clerics, her mentors, the protectors, and they're standing over a small, terrified, green-skinned fairy girl. From her hiding spot, Ray can hear the fairy just begging for her life. And she's not just pleading, she's trying to warn them. She's saying, "You have no idea what you're doing. There will be consequences." The cleric's reply is just bone-chilling. It's sarcastic, it's cruel, and it's completely devoid of any pity. This isn't an interrogation. This is torture for sport. And these are the people Ray has been raised to look up to her whole life. And then this. The other cleric moves, there's a sickening crunch, and Ray realizes he just stomped on the fairy's leg and broke it. This isn't about protecting humanity. This is something else entirely. Something dark. In her shock, Ray makes a noise, snaps a twig. The fairy's head whips around. Her eyes lock onto Ray's. And with what seems like her last ounce of strength, she gives her a single whispered command. And Ray does exactly that. She turns and she bolts. What comes next is a frantic chase for her life, a chase that's going to push her so far past her limits that it triggers something inside her, something that's been sleeping all this time. The chase is on, immediately. A gunshot rings out, and she feels the heat as a bullet tears past her arm. No warning, no calls to stop. They've gone from torturers to her executioners in the blink of an eye. And if getting shot at wasn't bad enough, she hears barking. Of course, they have bloodhounds. Now it's not just a chase, it's a full-blown hunt. The odds of her getting away just dropped to pretty much 0. And right here, this is the moment everything changes. She's about to collapse. The hounds are right on her heels.
And then something just erupts from inside her. It's this wild, uncontrollable surge of pure energy.
Suddenly, her entire perception shifts. The world turns into a blur of electric blues and purples. She's moving faster than she ever has in her life. And when she finally stumbles to a stop, she looks down, and the bullet graze on her arm? It's just gone. Healed completely. After a few agonizing moments, the panic fades, and it's replaced by a feeling she's never had before. Raw strength.
So as she's trying to process this impossible transformation, a voice cuts through the woods. Turns out, she wasn't alone. Someone was watching the whole thing, and he's about to deliver the final, mind-blowing piece of the puzzle.
He steps out from behind a tree, a tall boy with silver eyes. First off, he knows her name, which is unsettling. But then he says this, "My name is Brandon, and you are mine." Who even talks like that? It's intense, it's possessive, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Ray's reaction is, perfectly normal. She's like, "Excuse me, people don't belong to each other?" But Brandon, he's not arguing, he's just stating a fact. He says they're stuck, that they're bonded to each other. He's playing by a completely different set of rules.
So, after running through all the options, he's not from the sect, he's not a random person, Ray is left with only one possible, horrifying question. She has to ask it, and everything, her entire reality, is riding on his answer.
And there it is. So simple, so quiet. Oh yes, he's a demon. And if everything else he said is true, that she belongs to him and he belongs to her, well then what does that make Ray? Suddenly, the very first line of this story comes crashing down on her. The worst day of her life is today.